Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I am the host, T Money, and today I'm going to be doing my recap on the Bulls and the Magic game. Now, these are two of my favorite teams in the NBA, and today we had a nice and solid matchup, man. So, the Bulls come into the matchup 24 and 38, and the Magic come into the matchup 29 and 34 on a 4-game losing streak. Now, early in the season, the Bulls beat the Magic going 3-2, and this was the last time the Bulls was over 500 in 2 years. That stat is crazy. So let's get straight to it, man. Lonzo Ball out again with the wrist injury. We got Ayo out for the season. Vucevic still out with calf tightness. Patrick Williams still out with a knee. Jalen Suggs is out with microscopic knee surgery, out for the season. Then Mo Wagner also out on a knee injury for the rest of the season. The Bulls starting lineup was Tyus Jones, Kobe White, Josh Giddey, Montes Buzelis, and Zach Collins. And my opinion on this game is that I feel like it was a nice, close, hard-fought game. I think a lot of fouls and a lot of calls wasn't going our way, but we still managed to come out with the win. I like how everyone still stuck together, even though, the refs, they did a terrible job this game. And normally I don't like complaining about the refs, but they was just so bad today. I've been saying this since we drafted Kobe White. Kobe White is not a playmaking guard. Kobe White stands at about 6'5". He can run the two. He's a scoring guard. That's when he's at his best, when he's on the offensive end. I like the pickups between Trey Jones and Zach Collins. I already knew that these were two talented basketball players, and I'm glad that they're getting the opportunity to shine. So let's get straight to it. So in the first quarter, I kind of noticed the Bulls had a lot of lack of weak side help on defense. They was running a lot of switches, trying to get Paolo and Franz out of their rhythm. They didn't want to really get them to a hot start. The Bulls started off pretty tough. They went 0 for 6 on the field goals, then picked it up later on in that first quarter, went 6 for 9 on field goals, switched to a 2-3 zone. I didn't really see a lot of hustling for loose balls out there. I didn't really see a lot of effort out there in that first quarter. I did see Buzelis playing with a lot of confidence. He had a couple buckets that I'm like, okay, he getting into his bag. I see a lot of scouts on the radar said he didn't have a nice handle or whatever the case may be, but he showcased that in the first quarter, playing with a lot of confidence. Shout out Buzelis. Kevin Huerter was also another addition. He was still rolling. He was still on fire in that first quarter. I like how they made Kobe White the number one option on offense, because with Zach LaVine gone, he has nothing but freedom. He can pretty much just carry this offense. He needs to average at least 20 a game for us. So that was the game plan. I kind of noticed that he got off to a hot start rolling. And the Bulls also had 6 turnovers in that first quarter. We was down 33-35 in that first quarter. A lot of those turnovers were due to just bad passes, not a lot of communication on offense, bad rotations and stuff like that. So in the second quarter, the Bulls came out with an early timeout due to lack of defense. And I like how Billy Donovan, no matter what the game plan is, no matter what he said, you have to play defense. If they're not playing, he don't care if the game just started 30 seconds into the game. He's going to call a timeout if he sees people not playing defense. And I like that about Coach Billy Donovan. The Magic also had 24 points in the paint in the second quarter. It was too many guys ball watching, and a lot of players on the other end was diving in the hole, getting easy points that led to 24 points in the paint. That's just simple basketball, guys. You got to communicate. You got to keep your eye on your man. Stop taking your eye off your man. Kobe White also, hit back-to-back threes in that second quarter. We had a pretty good game plan on doubling Paolo, not letting him get into his rhythm, because Paolo, one of the young stars in the league, came back off that oblique injury and been rolling. He can get you 40, 50 if he gets rolling. So I like how the Bulls had a good game plan to get him out his rhythm, double team him, make him pass the ball, get the ball out of the star player's hands. I said this against the Clippers game. That's how you stop a star player. Just get the ball out of his hands. So the Bulls ended up going on a 13-4 run in that second quarter. We still had a couple slow rotations on defense. The Bulls also did a great job in just letting Franz Wagner shoot. He's really not a shooter. He's really a driver. So the Bulls had a pretty solid game plan on getting the Magic 2-star players out the game. Kobe White ended up hitting 4 threes in that second quarter. And Franz ended up getting a technical out of frustration. Now, this was a bad officiated game. I do agree with a lot of players tonight was really frustrated. And I do agree with their frustration, because this game, the refs was just terrible this game. I did notice as the quarter dwindled down that a lot of the rotations ended up picking up. The defense was way better in that second quarter. And, KCP hit a 3 in that third quarter, which put them up by 3. And the Bulls going to the halftime down by 3, 69-66. And at the half, Kobe White had 16 points. Buzelis had 11 points. Josh Giddey had 10 points and 8 rebounds. And on the Magic, Paolo had 15 points and KCP had 12 points. So in the third quarter, the Magic came out on an early run going 8-0, leading to an early Bulls timeout. Now, this is what I was saying, that you have to match them on defense as well as offense. Orlando, they turned up their defense. They were switching. They was playing aggressive. They were trying to get steals. They were trying to get a blocks. Orlando was really a lengthy team. Nobody on the floor is under 6'4". They all got big guards, about 6'5", 6'6". So they live to play on the defensive end. It was too many 50-50 balls too in that third quarter. Too many missed rebounds or a loose ball. Nobody diving for it or nothing like that. And there was just so many BS fouls, man. I hate to complain about the fouls, but the officiating in this game was just terrible, bro. I'm going to keep saying it because it was awful. The Bulls was doing a lot of switching in that third quarter. Cole Anthony got off to a hot start. He had about 9 points just in the third quarter alone, just because a lot of mismatches. He being able to drive on the bigs. Of course, he is a shorter, quicker guard, score first type guard. He had a quick 9 points. So Coby White still was rolling in that second half. He hit a 3. And he had 23 points by the time it was the third quarter. This was really a chippy game. A lot of the players on both sides was frustrated. There's a lot of fouls going on. And this is Coby White's 4th game with 20-plus points. And Kevin Huerter came out. He was still rolling. He hit some threes. In the third quarter, there was 17 lead changes. Then, as the Bulls come out of their timeout, they picked up their intensity on the defensive end, started rebounding, started playing the rebound and run game. We third in pace. That's always going to be the game plan, the rebound and run. That led to a lot of fast break points. Dalen Terry had an open dunk. So going into the fourth quarter, the Bulls was down 96-101. Once again, starting out the fourth quarter, the refs were just making some terrible calls. Both Bulls bigs, Jalen Smith and Zach Collins, ended up fouling out in that fourth quarter, and I was so disappointed. And I've seen the frustration. Jalen Smith ended up picking up his second tech, had to get ejected, got into it with a fan and everything, and it was just super chippy. The refs was making it a long night for the Bulls and the Magic. So the Bulls committed 30 fouls by the time it was the fourth quarter. We committed 30 fouls by the time it was the fourth quarter. Come on, bro. That was just tough to watch. It was really tough to watch. So the Bulls ran Julian Phillips at the center position, who is a good player. He's mainly a high-energy type guy. I wasn't mad at the move. It was cool. The Bulls also left with no rim protection, so that's it's like the game was just kind of set up like they wanted us to lose. The Magic wanted us to lose this game. Had the refs on their side, but they was getting some bogus fouls too. The Bulls having 30 fouls in the fourth quarter. Orlando was in the bonus with 7 minutes and 48 seconds left in the fourth quarter. That is crazy. And thanks to Coby White scoring, had 30 points by the time it was the fourth quarter. He the one that kept us in this game this whole time. I seen a lot of stagnant offense, a lot of passing out of open shots. I feel like a lot of players should have been aggressive a little bit, but Coby White really kept us in this game. And like I've been saying this whole time, Coby White is not necessarily a playmaking point guard. He's a scoring point guard, so he should stay at that 2 spot where he's the most comfortable at. And we've seen tonight that he's able to get these hot games where he has 20, 30 points. So far, this was pretty much just an intense back and forth game. So the Bulls hit a 3. Orlando came back, hit a 3. Then Coby White ended up having his fourth quarter explosion. He had 16 points in the first half, then ended up scoring 26 points in the second half. In that second half, he had a crazy dunk on Paolo, too. Paolo, you got to watch your head, man. Coby White scored the Bulls' last 9 points to give us the lead 123-121, giving him a career-high 39 points by the time the fourth quarter came. Then with 20 seconds left on the clock, Coby White almost loses the ball, almost gets a turnover, but has to have a jump ball with Wendell Carter. He loses the jump ball to Wendell, so the ball goes to Orlando with 20 seconds left on the clock. Paolo Banchero was wide open, missed a wide open 3 to get him the lead. Wendell Carter got the rebound to put it back up, and the clock expired as Wendell dunked the ball. So the Bulls walked away with a nail-biting victory, 125-123. The Bulls win. Shout out to the Bulls for pulling off the victory. I like how the young guys stuck together. They really showed their camaraderie. Even though the refs was calling some BS, they didn't really get shook or anything like that. And they stuck together, so shout out to the young guys on the Bulls. So the game has Coby White ended up with 44 points in his game. A new career high for Coby White, by the way. Tre Jones ended up scoring 20 points. Shout out to Tre Jones. Solid, great player. I love Tre Jones' game. Patient point guard. Josh Giddey had 19 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists. And for the Magic, Paolo Banchero had 20 points. Cole Anthony had 20 points. And KCP ended up with 19 points, man. So for the game grade, I'm going to give this an A. I really like how the young guys showed their team chemistry and their cohesiveness and stuck together no matter how the game went. For the game grade, I'm going to give this an A. And that will be all for my game recap. Make sure you like, share, and comment, and subscribe.